Hey guys, Aaron Garza, Pure Line Nutrition. Listen, we're gonna do something cool today. Somebody sent me this text message last night, and it was, "Hey Aaron, have you ever heard of the Gladiator Male Makeover?" Now, obviously, I've never heard of this. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's some kind of hardcore training program that you're gonna, work out in your garage 24/7 and eat chicken and beef all day and just get shredded and ripped. I'm thinking gladiator style training, right? But no, this is completely different. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. This is actually a makeover that guys are doing that's similar to a mommy makeover, if you will. I think that's what you would call it, where ladies go in and they get lipo done and they get their butt done and they get their face done, all this simultaneously. Well, the male makeover, the Gladiator Male Makeover, is something that's pretty much exactly the same thing, but for guys. And guys are going in over 40 and they're coming out looking like Thor, essentially. I mean, it's just insane. Interestingly enough, though, from what I've read, is lipo, or actually plastic surgery for men has increased by 3 to 4 times over the last several years. So it's increasing. Guys are doing this more than ever. And I think maybe it's because it's just easy. You can go in and get shredded and come out, and a month and a half later, you got a six-pack or something. But, plastic surgery is popular. It's been around for years. I have a lot of close friends, females, who've had everything from breast augmentations to BBLs, Brazilian butt lift, rhinoplasty, all kinds of stuff. It's just pretty common among women. Guys, it's a little more of a sensitive thing. Most guys that I know are kind of like, you know what, man, I just go to the gym, work out, I can do it on my own. I'm not gonna go get, lipo done, except for maybe the occasional rhinoplasty, like nose job, maybe gyno surgery. So a lot of guys are born with, gyno or predisposition to gyno, but it's a kind of a fattiness. It's a fatty tissue that kind of appears around the nipple. Also, if they're cycling or using anabolics or anything like that, a lot of times they're predisposed by having estrogen receptors in that area, which grow and causes a little bit of, fatty tissue development. So that can be taken out. A lot of guys here in Texas go to Mexico to get it done. I've heard it costing as little as, $1,800 to as much as $5,000 and 10 sometimes. So it just depends on where you go, but it's fairly common. Guys do that. But the Gladiator Male Makeover is completely different, and I'm going to run through it. I'm going to give you my reaction to it because I was blown away, to be completely honest with you. I didn't know it existed. So let me look here. Essentially what it says is the Gladiator Male Makeover is a plastic surgery trend targeted towards male patients. It's particularly popular with clients hoping to avoid or postpone dad bod. That's characterized by fat torso, body hair, soft body curvature. It includes several steps, including liposuction, removal of male breast tissue, sculpting of the pecs and abs, hair removal, facial surgery, and a male-targeted version of the Brazilian butt lift. That's right, guys are putting stuff in their ass, and they're trying to get it bigger. As more and more men start to embrace this process, the trend is going rapidly. Okay, so what happens during a Gladiator Male Makeover? And I watched a lot of videos with this, and I'm gonna show some to you. Absolutely incredible. And by the way, if this is something you choose to do, by all means, it's your body, go for it, bro. I just think it's pretty unique and different and interesting, and I thought it'd be cool to talk about it. So first thing they do, 360 lipo. This procedure uses a small incision to remove pouches of fat from the abdomen, sides, and back, offering a treatment that goes around full circle. So I've got that one right here. Let me see if I can pull that up. This is the actual abdominal area that they've just lipoed on this guy. Let me see if I can pull it back a little bit. Right here, he's going in, he's taking out fat. It's cool how he kind of draws this all so he knows what area to go through and what to get. So interesting note though, some of this fat he's taking and he's harvesting, mixing it with platelet-rich plasma, because later he's gonna go back and use that fat for something else. So I think that's kind of cool. We'll look at that as we move along. But yeah, there it is. I mean, he's just pulling out fat, sucking that stuff out. Next, he goes into gynecomastia surgery. So he takes out that fatty tissue around the nipple. It's common. A lot of guys get that. They may have been on a cycle, like I said earlier, or just maybe genetic predisposition that they have that. Bothers guys, so they get that taken care of. So that's included in the whole deal. Body sculpting. Now this is really interesting. I actually have a video here of him doing this. Essentially, with body sculpting, he's doing this right here. He's got a needle that's got fat in it, and this fat, actually this is the lipo part. I'm mistaken here. Let me see if I've got that was the gland, the fat gland around the nipple that he took out. But the fat grafting, what he's doing is he's actually putting body fat into the pectoral area. So he's increasing the size of the pectoral muscle or the roundness of the pectoral muscle by adding fat to the area. And I've read that that's even done on your six pack, your abdominal area. It's crazy. They just actually inject the fat in there. Interestingly enough, if you watch this is the Brazilian butt lift. And he's, squeezing a guy's ass right now, but basically what he's looking at is whether or not the ass is symmetrical. Here you can see he's got the tube, he's sticking it up there. So he's putting it in there, and that's full of fat right there. He's sticking it in the butt to make that butt rounder and fuller. Again, this is a male. So quite interesting that is being done. So yeah, the body sculpting. Now facial augmentation, that as well is done, where you're talking about nose jobs, maybe something for the cheeks, I don't know. But all of that is done during this Gladiator Male Makeover. So it's crazy that this is actually going on. So let's talk a little bit about how much this costs. This thing can cost anywhere between $15,000 to $20,000 just to get the entire surgical procedure done. And then with the addition of the BBL, again, we're talking about guys, this thing could be over 45, 50 grand. Here it says estimate $60,000. So yeah, some guys are going in paying 60 grand to completely have their body reconstructed. With this lipo technique and all these other techniques. Man, put your comments down below because it kind of blows me away. Now, the other thing that we found interesting about this is that, once this is done, you can't do anything for about 1 to 2 weeks. I mean, you're pretty much in a bed, just laying down, resting. Some people may recover faster, but from one of the people that I studied, they're like, yeah, 2 weeks, and then I was finally able to move around. And you can't work out or do strenuous activity for 6 weeks. So for those of us who like to hit the gym and like to do stuff like that, dude, this kicks you out of commission for 6 entire weeks. Now, what I did is I've got a page here I'm going to pull up, and it's got before and afters of all these guys who have done these surgeries, these Gladiator Male Makeovers. So here's the first one. And what I wanted to look at is, in my opinion, how long would it take for this guy to actually achieve these results just with basic nutrition, supplementation, and training, without going the makeover route and doing all this stuff. So here's number one. You've got this guy with a little bit of a gut, a little droopy pec, and he gets abs. They go in, obviously they sculpt his abs out. And it's weird, like the abs look a little bit like, they're there, you see them, but they almost don't look real. Like something hasn't, like his body hasn't shrunk. Like when you lose body fat in a consistent basis, like 2 pounds of fat a week over 12 weeks, everything kind of pulls together, the skin. This just looks odd. It just looks like almost somebody painted these abs on. It just doesn't look normal. Let's look at the next one. The next one we've got is this dude here. So this guy, and I actually think I saw a video about this guy, who's actually an NPC bodybuilder, hadn't worked out in a long time, and decided to go ahead and get this done. And yeah, obviously he's got abs, but it's just, again, there's kind of a weirdness to it. Can you get this? Let's look at this and look at this, 1 and 2. Could he actually have done this dieting? Yeah, this would have probably taken, based on his body composition in this video, or this first before shot, he could have probably reached this in maybe 8 to 10 weeks of hard dieting. So you're looking at 2 months versus $30,000. It's a pretty, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. Let's look at this one. Here's another one. This may be the same guy as the same as the first guy, but look at this. The abs just look weird. It's just like something doesn't look right about them. They look good, but it just doesn't look normal. This one is a leaner guy, a little smaller. It doesn't look too bad, but you can definitely tell they've done something to the pec here where they put the fat in the pec. It just, again, it doesn't look completely natural, just kind of odd. I don't know, something about it just doesn't really, click. I think that was the first guy. Got a few more guys here. This one gets pretty shredded here. They take out a lot. You can also see kind of some of the indentations here, maybe from the scarring of moving that thing up and down, taking the lipo out. Just crazy. So that's kind of the idea of what the before and afters look like. Can you get those results training? Like I said, yeah, most of those are achievable. 8 to 12 weeks of hard dieting, nutrition, being consistent, not going through this crazy process of, you know, having somebody just pull all the fat out of you and stick it in different places. Now, how hard would you need to diet to get these results? If you're like, Aaron, that looks cool and all, but dude, I'd have to diet my ass off to look like this. Honestly, it wouldn't be easy. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, you can do it just by, you know, cleaning up your diet. You'd have to diet consistently, and you'd have to start at a certain point and remove calories every few weeks so the body starts coming down and you get leaner and harder. But it's doable, it's achievable. It's not really rocket science. It's just actually applying yourself and doing it. Can you get this lean without lipo or body sculpting? Absolutely. You can get leaner than this. I think this is like the stage right before you finally get lean. That's what these guys are getting. And the other thing is they're only getting lean in those places that the lipo or the body sculpting is happening. And when you lose body fat, like through diet and cardio and nutrition and a precise plan, fat comes off all over, and it just creates a more unique physique. It's a lot different. So think about that as well. And I think most people can achieve that, like I said, in 10 to 12 weeks. So what are the advantages to doing it naturally versus, you know, doing it this way and doing this crazy gladiator lipo? I think, you know, naturally, number one, the body looks better. The body will stay leaner. And most importantly, to get there, you created the habit of training, diet, and nutrition. So now you know how to stay there. A lot of these guys, you know, they go in, they get lipo, they do all this and that, spend $30,000, and a year later they look the same because they never changed the principles behind what it took to get them to look a certain way. They're mentally still doing the same things, and their habits haven't changed. So that's key, and that's an advantage to doing it on your own. The disadvantage is if you're going to do it naturally, you've got to require some work, some consistency, some dedication. It's not simple. It definitely requires you to focus in on it and make it a priority and put a plan together and a routine and even get a trainer and supplement correctly and pre-plan all your meals out. But again, it's achievable, and you're creating a long-term pattern that you can follow for the rest of your life. So yeah, that was my reaction to the Gladiator Male Makeover. It's pretty interesting. I didn't know that it existed, and maybe you didn't either. But check it out when you get a chance, and leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about that. Either I'm on, or you guys are just like, no, you know what? I'm gonna go do it. Good luck if you are. I'd love to see your results. It's very interesting. Now, please subscribe to our channel. We would love to bring you out more content. If you have any questions about nutrition, supplementation, training, hit us up at info@thepureline.com. You can also call us if you're looking to change your body quicker at 1-800-632-1402. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Take care.